So you're going global, but what about SEO localization? Hello and welcome to Global SaaS Focus. This is a series of short podcasts that explore key topics about growing B2B SaaS businesses in other countries. I'm Nicola Calabrese, founder of Undertow. We create and manage localization programs for B2B SaaS companies so they can grow globally.
And my name is Clément Dumont. I'm one of the co-founders of the Growth Syndicate, and we help B2B tech companies with the growth strategies.
Today we're going to talk about SEO localization. Clément, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Yes, I think it's a really good question. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with SEO because I think on one hand it's really interesting, but can also become, kind of this really cumbersome, really time-consuming type of tasks. So I think it's a really interesting one, but I believe that localization, it's all about prioritization, right? So a lot of mistakes that I see companies doing is like, oh, we already have good rankings and good traffic, organic traffic on our market. Let's just localize everything. Boom, we're gone. It's going to take a couple of weeks. We localize it and then we can ship it. And I think that's a big mistake, especially because you don't want to do everything at once. First of all, because it's expensive and it's time consuming, way more than you think it's going to be. So I would always advise companies to start with their main pages first. It doesn't have to be only SEO, obviously, right? You can have some pricing pages, about us pages, whatever, but what are the key pages within the buying journey on your website that need to be there and localized in high quality to actually convert people, right? So focus on those and then focus on the commercial, I would say, / revenue pages. So what can actually bring this revenue as fast as possible? So this is one of them. So don't do everything at once. Just first map out where you have to go.
Yeah, because you took a while to create your actual English website and think to do overnight, like in a new country from scratch. Maybe you haven't never published in the language, so you have to build your ranking there as well. It's gonna take time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So it's not a short-term win, right? It's something that is going to help you on the mid-long term. I think there's a few other mistakes like not checking the intent. So this is something that I've seen a lot, in a lot of companies I work with is, okay, whatever, keyword X is our revenue keyword, and that's commercial pages. So we're going to do the same on another country. But then you check the SERP, you check the intent, and you realize that actually keyword X in the other market is actually more informational keyword. So you need, for example, a type of blog article, or you need different, localization strategy. So you have to get all the research done, and that can be done by looking at your competitors, but also like doing your own research to see, okay, what actually matters in this type of market, and then I have to write about it, and what do I have to write about it? So it could be just localizing, if you're lucky, just localizing existing content, but most likely you're going to have to localize plus adapt your content to what is expected, right? And I think the last one as well, guys, typical mistakes is bad translations. So it's something that we see really often. People are like, oh, I'll just get someone on Upwork or, do it with ChatGPT or Google Translate. But then, you miss all the, you have bad translations. So it's a bad user experience because when people read it, locals are like, yeah, I know this is translated. And then you lose all this trust. So I think those are some important things to avoid when you want to localize your SEO strategy.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. And one thing that is really important is that, as you said, like do the research and the keywords for a specific market, not just a language. Like, for example, you're not going to look for keywords in German. You're going to look for keywords in Germany or Austria. That's going to be different. And also the actual search behaviors of users in different countries changes. So as you said, like some keywords that might be commercial in a country, the, let's say, equivalent, which is not like, usually is not a direct equivalent. Like you cannot just translate the keywords. That's not going to work. The equivalent might be with a different intent. So you need to adjust maybe the strategy around that, figure out the main pages, map the keyword, the top keywords that you identified in the market, map them to the pages that you want to work with, the primary, secondary keywords. So you make sure also you don't cannibalize, it's the same kind of work that you will do with the English website, but done for each market. It doesn't mean you have to do everything completely from scratch. But as you said, it's not like a quick win. It's something super quick and easy to do. It takes some work, and especially if you want it to be successful over long term, because then you need to, it's not once done and forgotten. You have to, exactly like the English website, you have to track it and then adjust it and see what's working, what not, adding content little by little. So you start with, as you said, like a minimum that you start, the most crucial ones, and you go and add pages little by little to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And I would add here maybe a tip, because I think a lot of marketers are in this situation where you get, your manager or the CEO or whatever that says, let's just translate everything kind of quick and dirty, and then we'll review it. And that's something in my experience that doesn't work, because the review part will never come. So you will be 6 months down the line, you actually won't be ranking for anything. You will get, starting getting a bit of the blame. Why is it not working? And then you'll be like, hey, but we said we'll review it and we never did. And then it will fall basically on your shoulder. So for me, it's something that I always push back. It's like, no, this is also a representation of our brand. So if we want to do things right, we're going to do it right. So let's do it on the smart way, and not, translate whatever 500 pages at once, and then later on we'll take a look at it, because that's not going to work.
No, yeah, you're literally setting the foundation for your brand credibility from an SEO point of view. So that's definitely something that needs to be done properly from the start. Otherwise, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you're not giving the proper resources and time in terms of time and economic resources. Do it quickly, and then it's not going to work because you haven't done it properly. And it's going to take a while to realize that you're not on the right track. That's the other thing.
100%. Yeah, totally agree.
Hi, Nicola here. Thank you for joining us on this special episode of the Multilingual Content Podcast, powered by Undertow. We create and manage localization programs for B2B SaaS companies so they can grow globally. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and remember to subscribe and give 5 stars to our podcast. Your contribution makes all the difference. See you next time.